Speaker League is in the building right now. I am DJ Laylo on the ones and twos as usual, man. You're tuned into the Spotlight Wednesdays. Spotlight Wednesdays is basically based on influential people within their community doing respectful things and getting the job done. And today we have a special guest. Actually, we have two special guests out here right now. My man Kenny Smith and my man Marcus Bentley. How y'all doing today?
Outstanding, Coach. How you?
Definitely outstanding.
Yeah, you know he always called me Coach. It's funny though. You know what I mean? On the radio, I'm DJ Laylo, but they call me Coach Bridges. So definitely happy to have y'all both here, man. This is a great event, man. This is a great time to be interviewing you because at the same time we had the Hall of Fame College HBCU Classic. I said it all backwards, but at the same time we had an HBCU Classic in which I take it that y'all ambassadors or what?
Yeah, so I'm one of the ambassadors representing not only Lava Athletics, but also Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated in the Divine Nine. So what we've done is collaborated with the Hall of Fame, and then you also have the Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic team, which is set off by Coach Adrian Allison. And so there's a series of events that people may not realize that takes place right before the Classic, and we'll highlight those. One of the first events, though, it takes place Thursday, August 31st, 2023, and that's called the Reading of the Playbook. So that's how I was able to link with Coach JoJo, Coach Kenny Smith, and say, hey, man, you know, they're reading this book, brought it to the table of ambassadors, and they said, well, let's take a look at what they're doing, and that's how we were able to actually get Coach JoJo and his family involved. And he's doing some great things with his literature and this campaign to increase literacy in our community.
Okay. Coach JoJo. I want to call you Kenny, but I'm gonna call you JoJo. I see like everybody. I see everybody call you JoJo. For people who don't know who you are or what you do, give them a brief summary or a brief rundown of what you do.
Who brief, man? I don't know that.
Your history, man. Your history.
Oh, for sure. So you know, for the past 15 years, I've been working in education. In athletics. So, you know, my job is to empower young people through education and athletics. And so with that being said, most recently, I became an author 3 years ago, writing children's literature, you know, and so being in education, being a teacher and seeing, you know, the impacts of that, it empowered me to want to write and catch young people earlier. So, man, I'm the founder of a nonprofit, Ladies First Akron, that's 13 years old. So I'm a community leader, man, that's doing a lot. And so through this opportunity, in presenting what I do in the community, my daughters are authors as well. They're 11 and 8, and they became authors at 9 and 7, respectively. So, you know, to be able to bring them to the table for the Classic, HBCU grad, Miles College, Birmingham, Alabama. Shout that out. You know what I'm saying? Hoop Phi, definitely. You know what I mean? 4 years, you know, Division II college basketball, you know, so, but able to represent that, man, and now to come back with my family in a literacy situation, man. I'm super excited and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity.
That's nice. You said Miles College in Alabama?
Yes.
I actually went to Norfolk State in Virginia. You know what I mean? So we definitely got that HBCU experience. It's like nothing else, man. What made you want to get involved with the HBCU Classic or anything? Or did y'all put it together?
So getting involved with the Classic, man, Marcus called me and, you know, he basically was like, look, they're looking to feature Black authors. And not only are you a Black author, but you have an author family, you know what I'm saying, by my daughters. And so, you know, that's a powerful thing. And so he was telling me what they were looking for. And he was like, I think that you guys would be an amazing fit. So, you know, he put me into a situation where they wanted to hear what I was doing and what I could bring to the table. And so not only am I an author, but also I taught for 12 years and worked for 15 in the school system, right?
Okay.
And so all of the background that I have working with young people in education, it just made sense. My daughters at their last book signing, they did a workshop in teaching people how to be authors, you know what I'm saying, at 7 and 10 at the time. So, you know, just bringing all those aspects to the table, you know, they were intrigued and it was something that they wanted to pursue. And here we are.
Well, what got you into writing?
I've always been a writer, honestly, man, since I was a kid. I love to write. I love to read, you know what I'm saying? Outside of athletics, it was something that my uncle really pushed on me heavily. And man, dog,
Seems
so
like you got memories of that one.
to be honest though, it was it because his death date was yesterday, July 11th.
Wow.
And so my brother just released a single. So if you ain't heard that 950 Lane Street, go check
Oh,
that
definitely
out.
send it to us.
Mr. Smith, Principal Mr. Smith.
Oh, Mr. Smith?
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
my guy.
My brother dropped
I
a
didn't know
song
that.
yesterday, and
That's-
so that actually, brought back the memories. We had lunch about this yesterday.
Wow.
And so my uncle was really big on. He was funny, but he used to say, "Man, you don't want to be a dumb athlete."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He always told me that since I was a little kid. And so, I was writing as a youngster. And then when I got into teaching, I actually had books done, but I didn't really know what to do to become an author.
Right.
And so what ended up happening was I was showing my students, and then COVID came. And so when COVID came, I was like, I'm not sitting around. I'm picking up a skill. Something's happened. I'm putting out a book.
Right.
And I put out my first book about a Black father, about being an active father, because the Black father's story is not told. So I'm like, I'm gonna tell my story being a Black dad, and I just started to train. And so now I'm 2 books in. My oldest is 2 books in, and my youngest, has one. So that's how we got to where we are right now.
Wow.
It's crazy because, like I said, I know your brother. That's funny, and I love what he does with the positive message and the educational rap that he does when he's on camera. And he's actually a good rapper. You know what I mean? So I definitely like what he does on that, and that explains the education. You can see the education within the family household. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Is that what got your daughters into being authors, or did they just want to follow in dad's footsteps?
I think they want to just follow in dad's footsteps.
Mhm.
Like, I literally include my daughters in everything. And so reading is something that myself and my wife, we value. Been reading to them since they've been in the womb. But it wasn't like I want my daughters to be authors, right?
Mhm.
That wasn't the plan. The plan was to expose them to reading as early as possible, and let them know that was something that we really, really cared for. Through that, though, in writing my first book, I included them in the process. And so when they saw what it was, my oldest told me she wanted to write a book. And I was like, okay, I really didn't believe her, to be real.
Right.
But when I tell you, like, they still have their notebooks because we do it old school. It's written in the notebook first. It's on paper.
Mhm.
And they can show you their rough drafts of how it started. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, she showed me her draft of her first book, and we got it edited, and we went through the process, and it's go time now.
Yeah.
How important to you does it feel to have a father within the household in a government now? Now they try to take the Black man out the picture, you know what I mean, and let these women raise these children on their own.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But I tell a person every day, a woman can't teach a man how to be a man, regardless of what the fact be. And the way the system was set up, and it separated us from the family orientation. How important is it for the father to be within, especially a daughter's life? You know what I mean? As opposed to any children, but especially a daughter's life.
It provides balance, right? So the mother it has a lot of valuable assets, obviously, but then so does the father. And though bringing those together, that's where the powerhouse really happens, right? And so, for whatever reason, we've gotten away from that. But in my household, right, we make sure that it's teamwork. Like, you know what I'm saying? I played basketball, I had my journey, but so did my wife.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my wife played in college, and so we understand team. And so where she needs compensated, I pick her up, and where I need compensated, she picked me up, and we work together in that dynamic. But as being a father to having daughters, like, literally, they're going to see the world and see men through me. Like, that's just what it is. Right. It ain't no kind of maybe. That's what it is. And so I take pride in showing them what it should really be. And that's really just how I live my life, just to be that example.
Being in the educational system, how did that advance you to actually being an author? You know what I mean? Because learning through the educational system already, and being a teacher, professor, whatever that you were doing, how much did that play into writing your book?
I won't say that being an educational professional went into me writing my book, because I already liked writing. But what it did do is it amplified the need, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I saw that the reading importance wasn't as relevant in many households as it was in mine. Correct. You know what I'm saying? So what I was able to see was how important the need was, and I knew that I could feel a need, right? I knew that reading was important, and we weren't feeling that need. I knew that the Black male the Black father experience wasn't being told, and I could feel that need because not only am I a father to mine, but I've been working in the community for 20 years since I was 22, since I was 18, right? And so coming from my dad, right? And so I know that power of what that looks like. So obviously being an educator is important, but it wasn't the catalyst to me writing, I would say.
I thought it would tighten up your skill sets, like learning from the educational system. It would tighten up skill sets, whether it's learning professional writing and all this other stuff like that. But that's a great thing. How does the HBCU experience play into that part?
Huge, man. I had a professor every class leave with the Frederick Douglass quote, "No struggle, no progress," right? Every class, he said that to us. That's one thing that I just always remember because it reminds you to get out your comfort zone, right? But then also the HBCU experience, they always were telling us to go back where we came from and give the knowledge that we got back. You know what I'm saying? So get somebody else an opportunity to get this knowledge. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I never wanted to come back to Akron, right? That was my plans was
Me either.
Never come back, right?
My cousin told him, but man, go ahead. We ain't gonna say that, man. We ain't gonna say
you know what
that.
I'm saying? So like for me though, it's deeper than me, right? It's a purpose on my life, and I understand that. And so, now I don't try to block what it is that God has for me. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm riding literally with my hands off the wheel and allowing the spirit to just take it where it's gonna go.
Well, check this out. I just saw something that was posted that you have results. So in our organizations, we always talk about we want to see results. You ain't doing nothing. You have results of a couple of attorneys and doctors that you have coached, and now they've gone on in your Ladies First organization.
Right.
And you guys are having a big event coming up too. So you actually did bring that influence back, and you poured it into your community, and it's helping those young ladies. Well, what is that about, that big event I read?
So every year the message behind it was give back to the community you come from.
Okay.
So once we started the organization and we were 7-8 years in, we started to notice, like, at first we only went to 8th grade. So then it was like, okay, when they get to high school, we want to start having them give back then. Like, we don't want to wait. You should wait till you're an adult. So we're going to have a skill clinic. They can teach the importance of basketball, the importance of life skills, all the things that they got. And so what we do at this event is we allow our girls that are currently in high school, 9th to 12th grade, they're the coaches, they're the leaders. We're there as adults, but we just there. Like, we just there as placeholders. They running everything. They control everything. But so now you literally put them in position to lead.
Right.
So we put them in those leadership positions, and now the next generation is seeing them as leaders. And so they have a responsibility not only to themselves, but now to your community, because they're going to see you outside of this event. Right. And so now you have standards that you have to live by. And so we've been doing it. This is our 7th one. We missed the 2 years with COVID. But we've been doing this ever since we had enough girls to do it in high school, man. And it's been amazing. And
wow.
this one's going to be crazy. Like,
wow.
Oh man, we have so many alums, like law school, med school, masters, and like, we not just here celebrating college either, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got people that's working. We got a young lady that's 19 that's got her own business, right? Like, so success is not limited to the classroom, right? Whatever they want to experience and however success looks to them, we celebrating it all.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
Tell us about the Ladies First Akron.
Yeah.
You the director.
So Ladies,
of that? What's that
yep,
about?
I'm the founder. So Ladies First is an organization that uses academics and athletics to help young ladies, inner city young ladies overcome barriers to be successful, right?
Okay.
So what happens is, like, it's never anything for the girls. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of programming out here for young men, but it's not much out here for young ladies.
Surprisingly,
specifically in the city,
right?
Suburban areas have the programming, but the girls get the back burner all the time. And so it was not something that was planned. I didn't think I would ever do anything with girls basketball, but again, there is a power within me that's greater. And so that happened, man. And here we are 13 years later.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have, like, so many daughters, but yeah, it's an opportunity for them to understand. And so, like, literally, I've just seen some of them recently, and they've been talking about the values that we teach and how I won't bend on those. So, like, academically, we have a GPA requirement. Like, And so they know there is no best player at 11, right? Like
Right.
you're 11. You know, you got a lot going on. So if you think you're the best, but you don't have the grades, you sit. And so we don't just say that. We sign contracts. Like we literally hold them accountable. And that's one of the things that they mentioned as grown adults was like, when he said we couldn't do something, or when he said this what it was, like that was literally what it was. So that accountability there. And now, you know what I'm saying, we have these young ladies who we got 100% 4-year graduation rate.
Wow.
Like I to be honest, like I expected that. But now that I'm years removed, I'm starting to understand the power in that, because I'm looking at the 4-year graduation rate of public schools being 78%. You know what I'm saying? Whereas when you come be a part of this program and you ride it out, like success is guaranteed, because that's what we expect, that's what we breed, and that's what it is. So yeah, man. So and now my daughters are a part of it. Like I started this before I even had daughters.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how you know it was bigger than me and bigger than, I didn't do it for my kids. Like a lot of people start stuff for their kids, and I, you know, whatever. I'm not against that. But like this happened before I even became a dad.
Right.
So that's how you know, like it's just divine. It was meant to be what it is.
And I love the fact that you, once again, results. You know, you're speaking to the percentages, you got data, and then you're breaking the trends, the so-called we're lazy, all the stereotypical
stereotypes,
images that come with our young ladies. You show possibility. So that's data. So what you're doing is actually duplicatable. So an individual could take your model and implement it in a certain community and get results. So that it's possible. So I really enjoy that, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Also, I like how I was reading something as well that said great athletes with bad grades become hood legends, and that's it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? That's just here and there. You know what I mean? Not going anywhere. They're just legends in the neighborhood, and that's not the model that you want to follow. How did the sports side of things play a role in your character, your upbringing?
A big role, man. Like shoot, my dad is a college athlete, HBCU grad, Central State.
Okay.
He's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So he hooped as well. But I saw that, and then by me being a basketball player, like I played all sports as a kid, but then choosing to focus on basketball, and, you know, be able to have my experience, you know, it shaped me, man. I got to travel the world, like playing basketball, like literally, I got to leave this country, right? Like I got to go to college, I got to leave this country because of basketball. So basketball assisted in that, and it helped to make me the person that I am.
Wow.
And so I was never limited to just the sport. And it was because of my uncle that my brother did that video about yesterday, who always talked about being a dumb athlete, right? So if I'm at 8 years old, always, like literally we would go to the sand pile, right? Because my both my parents grew up in the V, and everybody know my dad in the Perkins Pool League. Like if you knew the Perkins Pool League, my dad ran that league. When we would go over my grandma's, I'll pop the trunk, get the ball, and I'm going to the sand pile. My uncle wouldn't let me go to the sand pile until I had to write my name X amount of times. I had to write sentences. You know what I'm saying? Like he was on that, right? And I never really thought about how powerful that was, because I just had to do it, and I became accustomed to it. And he made jokes, and he was the funny uncle of the family, and he was the life of the party. You know what I'm saying? But now as a grown man and talking to my brother about it, like this seed was so deeper than what I thought it was, right? Like literally this happened yesterday. This is a conversation that happened yesterday. How deep that seed was planted that I never really looked at it like that. So man, education is so big in mixing with the sport. So I just see it as an opportunity.
And so what I hear is a lot of, because we're a mental health organization and we do a lot of prevention. We're a coalition, and we deal a lot with community trauma and individual traumas. And we try to break down these historical this epigenetics they talk about, that we're born with these issues in our community. And once again, you're breaking the mold, saying that you can change patterns of behavior by your experiences. So we have something called ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, but we also have adverse community experience, ACEs. And so by you, we're not only your organization, right? So you got your organization, but you have individuals pointing to your life. You can change the path and change someone's future just by those small decisions. It almost seems like it's a couple of decisions that catapulted you, and then a series of choices made to get you to where you are. I think that's powerful, man.
Yeah,
I think that's really
choices.
powerful.
Yeah.
Choices, man.
And for y'all to don't know who we speaking with, that is Coach Bentley. I'm gonna call him Coach Bentley since he calls me Coach. But that is Mr. Marcus Bentley, man, CEO of Lava Athletics and the Lava program. Also, man, explain to the people what's your purpose and what's your background history.
Well, my background history basically, we were established in 2016 when we started Lava. I was a teacher assistant. I was doing construction, became a teacher assistant in Akron Public at a school called Akron Digital Academy. And they had a grant, and in that grant, it was like Race to the Top or something like that. And they said, well, look, can you create something to work with the young men? And so I sat around, I said, yeah, came up with this idea, thinking about, I thought about a volcano and how it has all this untapped potential that sits there, and then suddenly out of nowhere it's ignited and it blows up for the world to see. So then I said, well, look, what comes out of a volcano? Lava. So Lava, LAVA, stands for Learning Abilities for Victory and Achievement. So it started out as something that small, and then I started working with Jackie Campbell. She came in and said, you should start a nonprofit. You could probably do more. You can expand it. And so we started a nonprofit. She helped me with the paperwork. So then we started growing even further, and I started learning about this mental health side. I started working at Minority Behavioral Health. I started learning more about our community, different principles, the Nguza Saba, the Mayat. So these are things that I didn't realize, that there's certain things that impact African Americans and their philosophy and psychology that is unique, that's different than European psychology. So when I started learning that, it blew my mind. Then I started working at the school called the Edge Academy. They saw how I was doing casework, school-based casework with the school, and then they hired me to be the dean of students. And so this when it got sticky, because I went from doing prevention and supporting individual clients, is what we used to call them. Now we call them players. And now I'm sending them home when they make mistakes. You know, when they're suffering from these specific traumas in their households, when they just came to school after taking care of their siblings and they're stressed out or they fall asleep. So I started understanding the traumatic series of events that were happening to the kids. And then we started designing our mission to support community trauma, individual trauma. I met with a young lady named Dr. Tania Lodge, and we set up different divisions in our organization. One of those divisions, Division 1, is mental health. And so she said, well, look, a lot of people don't know about prevention. Go into prevention. Let's get ahead of it. Let's offer a universal service. Plus, we use a lot of sports themes and concepts that's different. So we don't call you a caseworker. We call you a coach, a community occupational athletic centered health provider. So when we say community occupational, that represents us supporting the individual and the community. When we say a player, it's a play on words. So we don't want to call you clients. So can we take away that stigma? You don't want a caseworker, you don't want a client, but you're always a player in life, right? So the player stands for purpose-led athletes yielding extraordinary results. Or you can put that A as a purpose-led American, a purpose-led African American, a purpose-led artist, all right, and a purpose-led audio influencer, which you guys mix music. So we want you to be purpose-led, but you're more than just a client. You're a person. So we also have programs that connect them to the environment. So in using the Nguza Saba, we use cooperative economics. We use Kumba, creativity. So we use those principles also to ignite the kids. So we're collaborating with different organizations like Speaker Leakers. We collaborate with authors. We collaborate with different businesses in the community. And we also do community development, where we're taking the kids out and having them develop the community and giving back. So I was able to collaborate. So we're in prevention. The amazing thing is we can collaborate once those kids come out of that universal tier and we start indicating problems. We can collaborate with organizations like a Kindred Spirit or a Life Anew or To Attain Healing. You know, we can collaborate. We can go into schools, and then we can have outcomes that really change the kids. So we use a lot of theater, a lot of arts, a lot of things that they say we don't have. So in this community trauma model, they're saying that in the African American or impoverished communities, 90% poverty, they say we don't have connections to good music and artists where they're learning how to play instruments. So we're starting to do that. You know, we have access to technology now because we have a coding organization. We got action that's to production like you. So we're bringing a lot of groups. We're in a few schools now. We're in the Edge Academy, Acros, and Acros Tech. We have our Life Anew team is in the Constellation School that's in Cleveland. So with our prevention programming, we're looking forward to getting in pretty much every school here soon. We're reaching out to Akron Public right now, as you know, and then we just want to start these models in these clubs, in this program we call huddles, and we start to get them ignited, but also connecting them to the community. So it's really exciting right now.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's big.
And for the people out there, no, he didn't lose his voice. That's his voice every day.
I like how you talked about the play on words, though,
yeah.
right? Because that's so big, right? Wordplay, like you are what you speak. You know what I'm saying? I just talked about that the other day. Like the person you talk to the most is yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that we teach is positive self-talk, right? What are you constantly affirming within your own world, right? So all that wordplay is so important. And so, you know, young people need to understand that, because what they say, they're bringing forward into their lives. So I like how y'all switch the words, you know, with the acronyms, and you have those different perspectives. So now that they're not limiting themselves, because there are no limits, right? So what you want to do is take off limits, you know what I'm saying, and allow young people to see that they are limitless. So from what I was just hearing from you, that's what makes me excited, because that's why I am is God, right? You know what I'm saying? And so that's God's name, but I am possible, right? Takes away the impossible, because there is no impossibilities. And so that's what I see bringing forward, is letting young people know that there are no possibilities. There are no limits. There are unlimited possibilities.
There you go.
Once you are in your purpose, right? So it has to be purpose driven,
right? Because
when you're purpose driven, then it's constant. It'll always unfold. So that's what we're trying.
And then, and the fact that person you're talking to is usually an inner critic. You got that inner hater that you're trying to combat, and get that inner critic. And it's challenging. And a lot of times we have attachment issues, and they come from the households. You know what I mean? So you might have a parent or communities that break you and tear you down, or the media. If you look at the design and the DNA of the media, it's never enriching to build us up. So we're balancing all these views and all these perspectives. So that's why the suicide rate is high. I didn't realize that kindergartner through 5th grade, they're killing themselves. So mental health is physical health. So at the same time, what are you saying to yourself? How are you valuing yourself? Speaking to that inner critic. So you're exactly right. And I call them gnats. You got to fan them gnats. Greatly negative automatic thoughts. Greatly negative automatic thoughts, because they come automatically and they're triggers. And you'll beat yourself up more than the world around you and put this fence around you. So I feel that I am, and that importance of knowing and being connected to the Creator. So because when you're a child of God and you're born of God, you're connected to God. We don't act like kings and queens. We don't act like it. You know what I mean? You got the spirit of God, and you're a child of God. You a little G God. That's my daddy, and that's my DNA. You a little G God. You know what I mean? But we out here behaving lesser, and it's by design. You know, we're behaving lesser, and it's by design. You know, and if we could snap out of that, which you were saying, through education, through positive people in your environment. It might not be a father, it might be an uncle, it might be a cousin. Somebody's going to be in that circle, as long as they're spitting the right truth. You know, as long as they're speaking the right thing, it makes a lot of difference, man. And I think it's important, you being an example. I was so excited to be able to sit at the table with the team of ambassadors and the Divine Nine and hear you give your side of the story. That, you know, that's a unique situation, man. And then didn't you do something at the Women's Hall of Fame?
The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So my daughters are the first young authors, the first authors to hold a book signing at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So like they are a part of history. So Hall of Fame authors, man, like Hall of Fame authors is what is a name that we've coined, because we're going from the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame to the Football Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? And God just opening up doors. So that was amazing. Like my daughters got to see high level, and my oldest, they both play basketball. My oldest is a little more serious about it. And, you know, my wife and I playing, we don't really care what they choose to get into, but the fact that they like basketball is a plus, because we're a basketball family, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But to see that, man, to get invited to go to Knoxville, Tennessee, man, and to see that, and for them to treat us the way that they treated us, man, and to establish that partnership, because that was a one-time thing, but there's some other things that are going to happen, down the line. So, man, it's just doors are opening, and we're very grateful. And again, that literacy piece and the uplift young women, which is what my daughter's book does, is even more powerful.
That's nice, man. And the crazy part about this, man, is we really want to set an example of role models out here nowadays, because a lot of kids nowadays don't have role models. You know what I mean? They're veering away from sports. You know what I mean? A lot of kids are just YouTube digital creators is the main job nowadays. You know what I mean? A lot of kids are trying to be digital creators, but they're not seeing those positive images in front of them. They're not getting taught by a positive image. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, what's crazy on why I got into this job as well, is when you talk to a kid, and not even a kid, you recognize that a lot of the mental health is based on the family situation. You know what I mean? Because if your mom is mentally ill or your father is mentally ill, it plays a part on the child. You know what I mean? And speaking to a lot of these children nowadays, I'm noticing that their intuitions or their reactions are coming from within the home. You know what I mean? Something happened. It might be some type of event or something that happened, but they're acting out what they see at home. You know what I mean? And if we can get more positive role models in front of the kids and more positive, I don't have to be your parent. I can be your big brother, mentor, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we can get them with more positive. We can knock down and stop a lot of things. I also want to touch on real fast though, the 2023 Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic. I want you to explain what's your connection with them and why you picked up Mr. Smith.
Okay, once again, like we talked about from the beginning, and I know you can probably read some of those events off. On August 31st, it's a reading in the playbook. And so we were in our original meeting, and they were talking about the playbook. And what happens is the Divine Nine organizations and community leaders and mentors and support teams, they actually go into the school systems and they get an opportunity to read a book or books to the kids. So that's how that started out. And just being actually, I was look at how God worked. I really wasn't supposed to be in the meeting, but my Uncle Jeff, he's a Sigma. My Uncle Jeff Bentley, God bless him, love him. He gave me my first college experience, if we go back. And so he's the first one to lead a hood. When he left, he was like, I'm a big brother. And so he left the hood to go to the University of Akron, and it broke my heart because he was like my big brother. So he left the project complex we lived in, Highland Park, big shout out. He goes down there, comes back and gets me and takes me to a step show. Now, I think he was pledging and trying to use me as an excuse. Right. So he takes he brings his little nephew down there, and I see a step show for the first time. So the only organizations I saw in the hood were gangs that wore the same colors or rep the same thing. This event, I'm looking around and I'm like, hey man, all y'all got class coming up? This is college. These is college kids. I'm like, so ain't nobody gonna fight a shootout after this? And they step in and they kicking it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is amazing. And so therefore I saw two IOTAs stepping on stage, and there was only two of them, but they was repping. And so that must have stuck in my mind, because years later I ended up joining a fraternal order, the fraternity, because I saw them actually volunteering in the community. I ran an organization called Under God, and we were doing stuff in the community. We did a march to the Board of Education. So that's the plug that got me there. So I trusted him because of that event. I trusted, like, all right, I can trust my uncle. He's invited me into a room before. If I go with him, he makes great decisions. So I go into the meeting and I find out what's going on. And I'm like, whoa, they got all these creative events going on that I wasn't aware about prior, and they weren't pubbed, I don't think, like they could be for our community to get involved in the classic. And you got two great football teams about to play. You got the bands coming. So when they said the reading event,
hold on, I don't even mean to cut you off, but I want you to say it again. We have the bands coming. But y'all don't know about HBCU colleges.
You gotta know.
You don't know about. Listen, I probably would have never joined the band in high school, But when I got to college and I got down to the HBCU college, I wanted to play the trumpet. No, but go ahead.
Yeah, so man, I got in the room and brother Adrian Allison and Kayla and Kaylee and all them. They were just talking about how they wanted to expand it and make it more favorable for the Divine Nine to get there, and we need to pub it and bring people in. And then they talked about the book, and then his name came up. So that's how I ended up in there, owned by accident, my uncle. And then, he was like, it's going to be some iotas there and all the fraternities, and we get to talk about how we can collaborate. But then I brought up Lava Athletics, which we do prevention and community service, and we do so much community programming throughout the year. They said, well, look, you got this idea about, I call it the road to the classic. Right. Let's create these series of events that are built on taking steps towards getting to the classic each year. And they thought it was a great idea. And now we have this valuable partnership that I know is going to last for a long time. So we really want people to get there. I know you got the list of events right there.
Yeah, I'm going to read them down a little bit.
Yep.
So we do want to let everybody out there know that on Thursday, August 31st, 2023, that is Education Day. We have the reading by the playbook that will start at the Summit County Schools at 9 a.m. We also have the Classic Fair supported by Brian and Kathy Barker. You know what I mean? That's at the Hall of Fame Campus Center for Performance, and the times are 9 a.m. to noon. Definitely make sure that y'all make it out to that. Let me keep going through these events. On September 1st, which is that Friday, we had the VIP reception that would take place at the Nash Family Event and Conference Center and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That starts at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. for anybody that wanted to come out to that. Reflections of Trailblazers presented by Stark Library and Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's at the Canton Palace Theater. That's also going down September 1st at 6:30 to 8 p.m. And we also have a community open mic. No cussing. let me because I know exactly where we're at, so let me make sure we reiterate that no cursing. You know what I mean? Come with some type of positive message, man, because it is a positive thing. That's a collaboration with Jason Tyler Foundation. That's located at the James Allen Family Gold Packet Lounge.
Yeah, Jason Taylor. That's the actual Jason Taylor Foundation, Hall of Famer Jason Taylor.
Okay. Yeah. And the Pro Football Hall of Fame, that's at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that's on the Friday. And we also have a red carpet affair in collaboration with the TKD Productions community event. That's at Nash Family Event and Conference Center at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So get ready for this weekend. It's definitely going down, man. And Saturday, September 3rd, this is the big game going down. This at the BC Black College Football Hall of Fame Clearview Golf Classic. We have I didn't even know that. But golf classic. Do you play golf?
No, I'll be knocking.
I gotta get used to playing golf, man.
Get out there.
My dad is cold. My
first job was a caddy. I gotta get out there.
Terrible.
I ain't been out there since a caddy tournament.
I just know if you chill and you don't swing it like it's a bat, you might be able to hit the ball straight.
Right. Excuse me. This boy keep trying to call me in.
Yeah. But my pops.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's been golfing since we've been buying this club since we've been like 8, 9 years old. But now I hit you real nice with a jumper, real crispy jumper.
I said a real crispy jumper.
Jumper still now.
Yeah. Also, we had a Habitat for Humanity Day of Service that's located at the Habitat for Humanity Campus, 1400 Raft Road, Southwest Canton, Ohio, 44710. Time is at 9 a.m. to noon.
Yeah.
And then we had an HBCU family block party presented by CSE Federal Credit Union. I should have been out there DJing. Just plugging myself in real quick. And that's located at the Centennial Plaza, downtown Canton. That's from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. List of events for this weekend, man. Believe me.
It's a lot.
And then we had the, I definitely know y'all want to make it out to this. It's the classic Greek Step Show. Like we said, man, we all are from a HBCU or have some HBCU background, so we know how those go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We used to be at the party. I remember when we used to be at the parties, man. And then the first time I actually got my experience with the fraternity or sorority, and all you heard from the background, you know, so I'm looking around like, man, who is doing all this? You know what I mean?
Right.
And it played out. You know, they do that circle around the whole room. So it was a big room. There was a lot of them. So my first thought was to actually play I mean, not play, excuse me, because I'm trying to do 1,000 things at once, but join the Alphas. My cousin is a Q. My cousin, he's the athletic director for Akron U.
Okay.
He's a
University of
Q.
Akron.
He's a Q
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
He's one of the
yeah.
first one to go join. I used to see how he's
Come on,
the stuff.
Marcus?
Yeah, that's my cousin. But he used to step around. You're doing this thing when he was a Q and thing like that. So I was like, you know what? We already got a Q in the family. I'm gonna join the Alphas. You know what I mean? And I got to school, right? And it's the craziest part. I actually saw someone get hazed. I said, "Oh no!" I said, "Oh no!" But it was the thing, because back then even school days was out, et cetera, et cetera. So we ain't even gonna go all into all that. But yeah, but also, man, on
organization. Let's put that plug in.
on September 3rd, Faith, Family, and Football Gospel Concert presented by the Good Feet Store. That's located at the Centennial Plaza, 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah,
and that's
nice
free.
too.
So make sure you make it out to that as well. An official all-white affair in collaboration with the Kappa Tau chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Yeah, that's the Cultural Center for Arts, and that's at 9 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. So it's a lot of stuff going down that weekend that we do want to get the community involved in,
man.
and we want to get them to come out. So please come out and show your support. Anybody that's tapped into this already or on our that's following Speaker Leakers Worldwide, make sure that y'all make it out to that, because that is a big thing, and just as big, if you ask me, as the Hall of Fame game itself.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So definitely make sure y'all make it out to that. A few more. Did I get them all?
Almost, because you almost to the game. You got
Okay,
Sunday.
yeah.
Sunday.
Okay.
It's a lot, bro. I told you. It's
Sunday,
I
September
didn't even know
3rd.
this was kicking like that.
This is game day, man. This is the Cecilia Ponder interfaith service that will take place that morning at the Centennial Plaza, 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And then we'll have the classic tailgate, Pro Football Hall of Fame campus, 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And then the Stark County Minority Business Reception will be at noon to 3 p.m. at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That cost is $30. Still going, y'all. We're still over there.
Let's get it. We got something to do.
We finally get to the game, the 2023 Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic featuring Morehouse College versus Virginia Union. Oh, man. I got some stories about Virginia Union.
I got some stories about Morehouse.
Yeah, I got some stories about Virginia Union.
Y'all hooped against them, didn't you?
That same conference, man.
I went to Norfolk State. You know what I mean? Went to Norfolk State.
Y'all in the same conference.
Yeah.
Same conference.
Located at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. That's at 4 p.m. Come watch the Panthers and Virginia Union take on the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College as the two programs face off at a magnificent Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. After the game, got this big thing going across this thing. After the game, stay to see the presentation of the MVP and the trophy to the winning team. And lastly, we have the fifth quarter presented by the CSE Federal Credit Union. That's at the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Immediately following the game, stay after the game and watch everything go down, man, because it's going to go down. With the marching bands from both colleges. So make sure you tap into that. We will definitely be in the house. Speaker Leakers will be in the house, and we will be trying to broadcast live for as many events as we can make that weekend.
That's
so
right.
Be ready for that as well. So I want to say thank you, man, to my Black brothers that came out to support this Spotlight Wednesdays, and also bring your business to our platform and let people know about what's going on, because a lot of people, this is the craziest part about here. The reason why I got into the business that I'm in, I was an artist first, but there was no marketing. So I became a marketer. I became a promoter and a marketer. And it goes past being an artist. We have programs out here, things for the community to do, but no one's marketing and advertising them correctly.
Right.
You know what I mean? They throw a little flyer on the liquor store counter. You know what I mean? Go down
to the barbershop.
Go to the barbershop. Hopefully somebody pick it up off the table. And we're just trying to open up the doors where they have more opportunity to advertise the 107.9s and the 93s, but we want something built in Akron. You know what I mean? We got 88.1, but they're student based. You know how that go. So, it's kind of hard to advertise. So I decided to create my own advertising lane. You know what I mean? And luckily we got a lot of followers, right. But you know what I mean? But the whole idea is a lot of stuff within the community, positive stuff within the community that a lot of people need to know about. I know Canton probably don't even know about this. You know what I mean? Unless they're broadcasting it or someone is going out there and presenting it to them, because a lot of them they're on YouTube. And it's crazy, no more. It's not really even television anymore. A lot of people are
And
on
I'm from
YouTube
Canton,
and,
so I
and
gotta
social
get
media.
down there. I'm from
Yeah.
Canton, so
And,
just
so
think.
so definitely, man. If
Gotta get
y'all
down.
there, man, we need to do some type of marketing campaign downtown or some type of event in Canton leading up to that. So for people to come out to and just get the literature and what's going on there. So hopefully
just the HBCU experience, man. Like
if you've never been to
HBCU,
HBCU,
you gotta come
man,
see what it's about. Like you have the opportunity to see it at the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like come see what it's about. You
also, man,
get a taste of it.
If you went to any type of
Cleveland,
public school,
Dayton,
like book school, it's like 2 times better. I mean,
we need every city in Ohio.
Yeah, surrounding.
Come on. Yeah. Anybody close to PA? Anybody close? Hey, let's load it up.
Bring your kids, bring the family, man. Come get this Black college experience, because Black college experience is like no other. I went to, like I said, I went to the University of Akron as well, but I also went to Norfolk State, and I still wish I could have stayed at Norfolk State. You know what I'm saying? Because man, it's a beautiful experience, man, for all, man. So once again, man, I do appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes,
man.
definitely. Let them know where they can find you at, your social media hooks and everything.
You can find me on Instagram at Akron Coach _JoJo. Kenny JoJo Smith on Facebook. Same on Twitter at Akron Coach _JoJo. But also YouTube. Follow my YouTube page, Coach JoJo Speaks. I do 10-minute motivational videos every morning, so you can start your morning off with some positive energy. Check that out, man. But you got to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? It's good to hear some motivational stuff, but it's actually designed for you to get to work on yourself. So yeah, man, I'm on platforms. Check me out, and check out Ladies First Akron too. All the young ladies out here in the area. It's only about to blow up and be larger. So Ladies First Akron on all platforms as well. Check that out.
That's dope.
Yep, and our website is lavaathletics.org. You can put your information there. And I'm Marcus Bentley on Facebook.
That's crazy, man, because that's not DMX. That's actually Coach Bentley talking. You know what I mean? And once again, like I said, we do appreciate y'all for coming down. Spotlight Wednesdays, the platform where we put the spotlight on influential people within the community and give you basic knowledge of what you can do better within your community. I am DJ Lalo, aka Coach Bridges, aka a lot of names, man. Aaron Bridges, Dante Bridges, yeah, something like that. But actually, man, we thank y'all for tuning in, man. Catch us next week on Spotlight Wednesdays. We do this each and every Wednesday from 6 p.m. until we finish. You know what I mean? We don't have a limit on our time because we try to let everybody know you can do whatever you choose to do.
There you go.
You know what I mean? For real. So we out of here, man. Till next time, we appreciate everybody that's out there, man. Make sure y'all make it out to the Hall of Fame Classic. We will be in the building. Speaker Leakers, let's get it.
That's cool. And you recorded that?